Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe, the British-Iranian woman sentenced to 5 years imprisonment in Iran in 2016, has been told she will stand trial on fresh charges and return to prison after a hearing next Monday.
Nazanin has been under house arrest at her parents' home in Tehran after being released from prison in March because of coronavirus. Her husband, Richard Ratcliffe, is urging the Foreign Secretary to ensure British diplomats can attend the upcoming court proceedings. He joins us now this morning. Good morning to you, Richard. Over the last 4.5 years, we have very, very rarely had any positive news when we've been talking to you and about the ongoing struggle to get Nazanin back home. And, of course, this most recent news must come as another hammer blow to you and your family. How are you all feeling?
Yeah, I think that's right. This was a really tough couple of days. I think I was on your show a month ago or so, and we were worried there was going to be a new court case, and now it's come back. And yeah, I think the news we got on Monday, it hit Nazanin very hard. Cried all day. And I have to say, yesterday I couldn't do any media. I was just too low. And we'll see. The reality is, as you said there, that she would be in court on Monday. She has been threatened that straight after court she's going back to prison. That's obviously a threat. It hasn't happened yet. I'm sure there will be a court case. Her lawyer was firmly of the view that there's nothing in the new charges, that there's no reason to be convicting her, and any self-respecting judge will acquit her. She's in front of Judge Salavati, who's the judge who did all the cases before and does all of the foreign cases. So I'm not too sanguine that she'll be okay, but we'll see. I spoke to the Foreign Secretary day before yesterday just to ask him to do what he could. He's going to try and speak to Nazanin before Monday, just to reassure that the UK is working on it. And yes, as you said, I think the most important thing at this point is that the British Embassy attends the trial, demands consular access, which means that they insist that they can attend the trial. And that's will just act as a protection.
Well, I'm so sorry that you're in this position. What did Nazanin say about it when you spoke to her? Because I know she's been in this situation, hasn't she, where she's been out of prison, in house arrest, trying to live a bit more of a normal life. Does it make it doubly hard that she's had this spell of relative freedom, in a sense, and be able to be in more regular contact with you and your daughter?
Look, without doubt, I think she has, the idea of going back into prison and where she is at the moment, so she's at her mum's and dad's, which is vastly better, but she's got an ankle tag, so she can't go anywhere. It can only go 300 metres. That's been quite tough mentally, that she can't visit anyone, no one can visit her, or no one dares to. But yeah, the thought of going back into prison, and I was probably having to call her or she was calling every hour, every 2 hours, just asking for reassurance that she wouldn't be going back on Monday. Clearly was fixating about what to put in the bag and what she could take back, and just imagining that we're at a point now where, I've been on your show for the best part of 4.5 years. We were hoping that there was only a few more months to go, worst case scenario. I'm hoping she's back by Christmas, but worst case scenario, this has only got months to go, and then suddenly a new court sentence, another couple of years, it really changes everything.
Richard, there is a sense or a feeling that she's just caught in some political crossfire here. There's this outstanding debt that we've talked about in the past, the £400 million debt for some tanks that never really emerged and never was sent to them, that is still up in the air, and that court case has been delayed as well. What can you make of these new charges? Do you feel like they are literally just using Nazanin now as a political pawn?
Yeah, I think they always have been, but it's much clearer now. And yes, as you say, that the debt court case was supposed to be on Tuesday of next week. That has just been postponed until April. And then we got suddenly summoned into court on Monday. There's no... of course, that's connected. And I told the Foreign Secretary as much, that, listen, of course, this is a game of cat and mouse, and we just get to be the victims each time you're playing this game. Where it takes us, behind closed doors, we do push to understand, I don't understand what the problem is, and I don't understand also what your strategy is. Ultimately, as Nazanin's family, we don't need to know how the government resolves its debt issue. It doesn't even need to resolve the debt issue as far as we're concerned. It just needs to get Nazanin home. But us being caught in the middle of the government's fight is just not fair.
It's a difficult situation, isn't it? The UK Foreign Office has said they don't recognise any linkage with the debt and the prospect of Nazanin's release. What did the Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab, say to you when you spoke to him?
So he said he'd been working on the case for quite a long time. It was a top priority, and they were doing something called a diplomatic push, which essentially means him engaging with the Iranian foreign minister at quite a high level and just talking through what can be done. He was very sincere, guarded in what he can say, obviously, because in case I come on the television and talk about him. But yeah, clearly it is an important case for him. I think my message to him behind closed doors, and it's one I've said in public, is that I think they need to be a lot tougher. You can't just have Nazanin be exposed to event after event, and it's not just Nazanin. There are a number of other people who are also being held and are also victims of this. And whatever the government is doing, it isn't working. So we agreed to they'll try a bit longer, but we'll sit down and have a proper strategic discussion on what on earth can they do more that will actually get her home.
Of course, the collateral damage of this for you and for Gabriella and the rest of Nazanin's family, of course, is that she's still not with you. She's still not with her daughter. She's not been with her for a couple of years. Obviously, Gabriella was out there first and has now come back to the UK. How is she coping? And because she's getting older, of course, and I'm sure she's much more aware of what's happening.
Yeah, she understands. She also, sort of the past couple of days have been tough because she's been, neglected, and can pick up on the fact that mummy and daddy are really stressed and aren't really talking to her, aren't really playing with her. And unfortunately, it came through half term, and there were various things that we were planning on doing that we had to stop. I think as she gets older, she understands more and starts to ask why mummy, why me, what did I do to cause this? So there are some harder conversations, but we still live in hope that this will be over soon, and she's still young enough that at 6 she still does live in the moment to a large extent.
Oh, well, listen, we hope that this is all resolved and the thing that you're fearing most happening doesn't actually happen. But thanks so much for coming in to talk to us, to update us on this. We'll be watching and waiting and keeping our fingers crossed for Monday for you.